I am a messenger from your Lord, and I am here to announce to you the gift of a righteous son. To this, Maryam alayhi salam replied, How can I have a son when no man has touched me? The angel said that it is very easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He also added that God wanted to appoint her son as a sign to mankind and a mercy from Allah. The angel's visit caused her great anxiety, which increased as the months went by. How could she face giving birth to a child without having a husband? Later, she felt life kicking inside her. With a heavy heart, she left the temple and went to Nazareth, the city in which she had been born. She settled in a simple farmhouse to avoid the public. But fear and anxiety did not leave her. After some months, she could not bear the mental strain any longer. Burdened with a heavy womb, she left Nazareth, not knowing where to go. She had not gone far when she was overtaken by the pain of childbirth. She sat down against a dry palm tree, and here she gave birth to a son. Looking at her beautiful baby, she was hurt that she had brought him into the world without a father. Suddenly, she heard a voice nearby. Grieve not. Your Lord has placed a rivulet below. And shake the trunk of this tree, from which ripe dates will fall. So eat and drink and regain the strength you have lost, and be of good cheer, for what you see is the power of Allah. For a while, she was comforted by Allah's miracle, for it was a sure sign of her innocence and purity. She decided to return to the city. However, her fears also returned. What was she going to tell the people? As if sharing his mother's worry, the baby began to speak. If you meet any person, say, I have vowed to fast and may not speak to any human today. Maryam alayhi salam was stunned to hear her newborn speak. With this miracle, she felt at ease. As she had expected, her arrival in the city with a newborn baby in her arms aroused the curiosity of the people. They scolded her. This is a terrible sin that you have committed. She put her finger to her lips and pointed to the child. They asked, How can we speak to a newborn baby? To their total amazement, the child began to speak clearly. I am Allah's servant. Allah has given me the book and made me a prophet. He has blessed me wherever I may be. Peace unto me the day I was born, the day I die, and the day I shall be raised alive. The people were shocked. They realized that the baby was unique. For if Allah wills something, He merely says, be, and it happens. But the Jewish priest felt this child was dangerous, for they felt that the people would turn their worship to Allah, displacing the existing Jewish tenets. They feared they would lose their authority over the people. Therefore, they kept the miracle of Isa's speech in infancy a secret and accused Maryam alayhi salam of great misdeeds. As Isa alayhi salam grew, the signs of prophethood began to increase as well. He could tell his friends what kind of supper waited for them at home, and what they had hidden and where. Once, when he was 12, he accompanied his mother to Jerusalem. There, he wandered into the temple and joined the crowd listening to the lectures of the rabbis. The audience were all adults, but he was not afraid to sit with them. After listening intently, he asked questions and expressed his opinion. The learned rabbis were disturbed by the boy's boldness and puzzled by the questions he asked, for they were unable to answer him. Prophet Isa alayhi salam grew up to manhood. It was Sabbath, a day of complete rest. No fire could be lit nor extinguished, nor could females plait with their hair. Prophet Musa alayhi salam had commanded that Saturday be dedicated to the worship of Allah. However, the wisdom behind the Sabbath and its spirit had gone. They made 100 things unlawful on Saturday, even calling a doctor to save a patient. One Sabbath day, the Prophet was on his way to the temple. Although it was Sabbath, he reached out his hand to pick fruit to feed a hungry child. This was considered to be a violation of Sabbath law. He made a fire for the old women to keep themselves warm from the freezing air. This was considered as another violation. He went to the temple and looked around. There were 20,000 Jewish priests who earned their living from the temple. The Prophet observed that the visitors were much fewer than the priests. Yet, the temple was full of sheep and doves, which were sold to the people to be offered as sacrifice. Every step in the temple cost the visitor money. When the poor people, who could not afford the price of sheep or dove, entered the temple, they were driven away like flies. The Prophet was astonished. Why did the priests burn a lot of offerings inside the temple, while thousands of poor people were hungry outside it? On this blessed night, the two noble prophets, Yahya alayhi salam and his father Zakaria alayhi salam, were killed by the ruling authority. It was on this night that Prophet Isa alayhi salam received the revelation. Allah the Exalted commanded him to begin his call to the children of Israel. Like an opposing force, the message of Prophet Isa alayhi salam came to denounce the practices of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. The Prophet's call from the beginning was marked by its complete uptightness and piety. He continued inviting the people to Almighty Allah. His teachings annoyed the priests. For every word, the Prophet was a threat to them and their position, exposing their misdeeds. The Jewish priests soon started to plot against the Prophet. They wanted to embarrass him and prove that he had come to destroy the Mosaic law. The Mosaic law provides that an adulteress be stoned to death. They brought him a Jewish adulteress and asked, "Does not the law stipulate the stoning of this adulteress?" The Prophet answered, "Yes." Then they said, "This woman is an adulteress." The Prophet looked at the woman and then at the priests. He understood their plan. He smiled and assented, "Whoever among you is sinless can stone her." His voice rose in the middle of the temple, making a new law on adultery for the sinless to judge the sin. As he left the temple, the woman followed him. She took out a bottle of perfume from her garments, knelt before his feet, and washed them with perfume and tears, and dried his feet with her hair. Isa alayhi salam turned to the woman and told her to stand up. Then he said, "O Lord, forgive her sins." Did you like the story, kids? If you liked the video, please click that like and subscribe button.